It is officially June, which literally means that summer is here. She is here. If this summer you want to tap in and become the baddest version of yourself, and I'm not even talking about just looks, I really just mean having a unequitable mindset, having your ish together, okay? I'm talking about loving yourself and really loving the life that you lead. If you've never been here before, this channel is a safe space for the girlies who want to grow, who want to level up and truly tap into their potential. And so if it is your first time seeing my face, then hey, welcome to the channel. And if you've been here before, like always, it is an honor and a pleasure to have you here with me. I feel like everybody on social media right now is talking about entering their villain arc era or hot girl summer or healed girl summer, but I think the best way to go about it is stepping into your greatness, and that is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you how to do today. And I'll sprinkle in some tips to help you make the summer the best summer yet, okay? You don't need to scream, you don't need to fight, you don't need to tussle. The best revenge is loving yourself and loving the life that you lead. It is growth. It is knowing your capabilities and stepping into your light, stepping into your power.
The thing that makes me feel great is when I feel healthy, when I feel like my skin is glowing, my hair is thick, and I'm excited to do little things in life. Like, I appreciate every little thing. That makes me happy. Happiness kind of is the open door to everything. Like, you could do anything. You could be creative, you could be savage, you could be antisocial, you could just be whatever you want as long as you're comfortable and you're happy being exactly in that space.
You do not need to tell or prove your worthiness. You don't need to prove who you are. But once you recognize who you are and you stay strong in that, then you don't really have to say anything. The world is going to know that your energy is not the one to be played with. So let's get straight into this little guide. So the first thing that we're going to do, the first step, is really to just clean up. We're really going to prepare for this new era. And I think the best thing to do first is reflect. Reflection helps you get an understanding of where you are, and only when you understand where you are can you get to where you want to be. So the first reflection question, and I really want you to pull out your journal. If you're not already journaling, which journaling is something we're going to be talking about a little bit deeper later on in this video, but if you're not already journaling, this is going to be your first journal entry, okay? This is going to be your first journal entry. You're going to grab a journal, you're going to put at the very top, what is not serving me in my current era, in these past eras, in these past few months, in this past year, what has not been serving me? What habits have not been serving you? Are there toxic people that have not been serving you? Friendships, situationships? Sit on that question for a while. Is it your friend group that you hang out? Is it that situationship? Is it your own laziness? Like, really, what traits do you have that are holding you back from being able to really grow and evolve? And then the next question that you're going to ask yourself, and this one is so important. I reflected on this question recently and I sent it out in my newsletter, which if you guys are not signed up for my newsletter, you should definitely sign up. This question will help you snap out of it. What are your insecurities costing you? The beliefs that you hold about yourself, the way that you view yourself is probably robbing you of living a happier life. It's robbing you of reaching your fullest potential. It might be robbing you of good relationships. It might be robbing you of making more money. It might be robbing you of having your dream career. What are they costing you? When I asked myself that question, I was like, dang, like, it really be your own self, because nothing is holding you back other than yourself. Even the things that are not serving you, the friendships, the situationships, you can pull yourself out of those things. It is you that lets those things affect you. It is you that lets those things and allows those things, gives it permission for it to hold you back. We need to first understand what is in the way of us being that baddest, best version of ourselves. It's not to point fingers. It's not to say, this is why I can't be an it girl. This is why I can't be the baddest version of myself. This is why I can't achieve my goals. But it is to recognize what it is that you need to remove yourself from. And if you allow it to hold you back, then what is it going to cost you? And then when you make those things clear, when you face those things on the paper and you're looking at it and it's looking at you, ask yourself, am I willing to give these things up for comfort and acceptance? Are you willing to continue putting yourself on the back burner? Are you willing to continue putting these things in front of your own needs, because really that's what it is. You need to look at the things that are holding you back straight on, and you need to say, you know what, I'm going to make this change. And that is what we're going to be doing this summer. All right, let's talk about the internal glow up. So the first thing is getting to know yourself and building that self-love, self-trust, confidence. And this is all about internal work that needs to be done. I'm going to give you habits and things like that you can implement daily that will help you achieve that, because it's not just like sitting and journaling, okay? This is understanding and accepting yourself even if the rest of the world doesn't. You really just have to create the safe space within yourself. Tell yourself it is okay. Tell yourself you are safe. Tell yourself it is all right when you F up. When you make a mistake, tell yourself it is okay. Forgive yourself and really just show yourself grace, because you really are doing the best that you can. If you messed up in the past and you're constantly replaying that in your head and you're constantly telling yourself, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that, it is not going to change the fact that you did that. But thinking about it constantly and bringing it up and not forgiving yourself for it is going to bring that into your present. It's going to affect your actions. It's going to affect your emotions. It's going to affect how you show up, and it's going to affect how you treat other people. And so it's really just forgiving yourself and showing yourself grace, because at that time, now you know better because you've learned from that experience, right? And that's why you're like, that wasn't okay. That wasn't okay. But at the time, you did what you knew. And so forgive yourself, show yourself grace. It's so easy to be your own biggest bully, to be so mean to yourself, but just be kind. I made a promise to myself that I would never judge myself, or I would never hate myself, even if the rest of the world was against me. That self-love, that self-respect, that confidence is literally the biggest and greatest threat to an insecure world. And it becomes your greatest weapon. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to scream. You don't need to yell. But that self-love and that self-respect will really do all the talking for you. Having this self-understanding, having this grace and love for yourself, it will help you have that same love and that same respect for everybody else, because it'll make you realize, like, dang, we're really all just battling this negative self-talk. We're all just battling our insecurities. And when you have that energy, you are so powerful. You are so magnetic. You are like that aura and that energy that you will give off. Nothing can top it. You will attract so much goodness and so much abundance into your life just by staying in that energy. And so some of the habits and some of the practices that you can start implementing into your days and into your life, and these are all going to be really small things you'll see as the video goes. The first is really to just set boundaries and set standards for yourself. What are you okay with and what are you not okay with? When you have an understanding of that, you know where to place yourself and you know where to remove yourself. And your standards are basically your values. What are your morals? What are your morals? What are your values? When you have an understanding of that and you make that clear, then what self-respect looks like is taking accountability and removing yourself from places that don't serve you. It's removing yourself from habits that don't serve you. It's saying, I'm not going to hang out with this type of person. And that's okay, because whatever you are around, whatever you surround yourself with, whatever habits you take on will ultimately give you the results that you'll have. So if you set standards for yourself and say, this is the type of life I want to lead, these are my values, these are my morals, you're going to stay away from everything that's not that. You're going to say no to everything that's not that. And that is what standards are. The next habit that I'm going to need every single one of you guys to do, regardless of whether it's cringe or not, is journaling. Okay. Journaling is such a powerful tool. This is what allows you to build that safe space within yourself. This is what helps you gain that understanding of who you are. There's so many journal prompts that you guys can go through. Literally, if you don't know what to write, you can always free write. Go on Pinterest and literally type in journal prompts. You will find a bunch. But journaling is such a powerful tool. When you understand yourself and you understand your emotions, then you'll learn how to control them. When you really take a step back and you take a moment to think, you take a moment to journal on it, this really gives you the upper hand, because constantly reacting will give you results that you don't necessarily want. So it's so important to step back and reflect on things before you just go and explode. It's not what other people do to you. It's not what other people say to you that really affects you, but it's how you internalize it. It's how you take that experience that you had and how you interpret it. Next is affirmations. I never want to hear anybody shitting on affirmations. I've talked a lot about affirmations in my videos and how affirmations alone don't really work, but affirmations are such a powerful tool when it comes to your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about the world, because it is repetition that creates the beliefs that you hold. So in order to think better about yourself, in order to have more positive beliefs about yourself, you need to repeat these affirmations to yourself. And a lot of times what kills us and holds us back is the conversations we're having in our head. Practice affirmations in the morning. Practice affirmations in the mirror as you do your skincare or in the bathroom while you brush your teeth. Practice affirmations before bed. Practice affirmations as often as you need them, as often as you would like. Nothing limits us other than the things that we believe about ourselves. And when you believe in yourself and you believe in your capabilities and you think highly of yourself, you will achieve greatness. So I thought I'd share with you guys some examples of affirmations that I literally practice every single day. I don't miss a day. Some of the affirmations are, and this is like self-love affirmations. Being true to myself is all that I need to do to become the most successful version of me. I am in control and do not let my mind wander where it doesn't need to go. With God on my side, I am protected from the evils of the world. So those are just a few affirmations that I practice. But you can create your own affirmations based on where you might be struggling, based around your insecurities. It takes like 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds. And it just makes you feel so good, so empowered, and gets you going for the day. The power of affirmations is so much greater than that, but it's not something that I'm going to be getting into this video. But affirmations is an amazing habit that I need you guys to start implementing. Okay. 2 is build an evidence portfolio. And like I said, affirmations on their own is just one leg. Okay, it's just one leg, and the table needs all the legs to stand, and beliefs are like a table. So you need to have an evidence portfolio for yourself. An evidence portfolio is, it's really what helps you build that self-love. It's what helps you build that self-trust. A lot of times we break our own promises. We say we're going to do this. We say we're going to do that. We say that we're going to do this, but we never do it. So we don't trust ourselves. And because we don't trust ourselves, a part of us does not love ourselves. Okay. And so it builds our confidence. It allows us to truly see our potential when we create an evidence portfolio. So what this is it is acknowledging the things that you've done, the little things that you've done. If you journal, you can do this in your journal at the end of the day, at the end of the week, whenever, end of the month. Just create a list of things that you're proud of. I've done this today. And when you're trying to build the self-trust, when you're trying to create new habits, you want to acknowledge as frequently as you can. So every day, just acknowledge the little things that you've done. Celebrate the little things that you've done. What you can do in the summer is every week or every month, set small goals, micro habits, micro goals for the day. And when you achieve those habits, acknowledge it. That is all that it takes. Acknowledge it. Everything that I share in this video, if you decide to step into this new era of your life, that is a personal project. It is a personal project. You are being your own personal project. And so set little goals for yourself. Your goal for June can probably be journal every day. That is something that takes like 5 seconds, or practice affirmations every day. It'll help you build that self-love. It'll move the needle for your goal of becoming the best version of yourself. And when you acknowledge it, you are building this confidence that is going to literally be unbreakable. Okay, the second thing, which if you watch a Bahja video, you know I'm never going to not mention this, but the second thing is to know God and to build a relationship with God. All I need to say is when you understand that the creator of the universe, the divine, is with you at all times, that you have access to calling out to him at all times, what can touch you? What can touch you? Rely on him. Trust him. Have faith that everything is working out in your favor. We know that nothing gets past God's will. Nothing happens to you without God's will. And so when you understand that and you remind yourself of that constantly, even the things that don't seem ideal, even the things that might not look like there's something good that's coming out of it on the surface, you know that it's working in your favor. Because God loves you, and everything that God gives you is for your own benefit. It grounds you. It makes you realize that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And this kills comparison. A lot of times the reason why we don't like ourselves and we don't like our life is because we're constantly comparing ourselves to the next person. We're constantly comparing our journeys. We're constantly comparing our stories. But that is not you. That is not for you. And when you accept that everything is happening for you, it allows you to find peace in your journey. It allows you to fall in love with your journey. Some of the practices and some of the habits that you can start to incorporate is daily prayer. Us Muslims, we are lucky enough to have 5 daily prayers, but just like taking a moment to sit with God, and which is the second habit, is have a conversation with God. And another thing that you can do is write letters to God in your journal. And when you have that understanding of God and you're constantly in remembrance of God, there is absolutely nothing that can touch you. You are uneffable. Period. Okay, our next section is lifestyle glow up. And the first thing I'm going to say is creating a summer mood board and vision board. And if you watch this channel, you probably already saw that one coming, but you got to make that ish happen. You got to make it happen. You want your summer to look a certain way. You want your life to look a certain way. You want it to feel a certain way. You have to be the one to make it happen. Remember that vision boards and mood boards are really just intentions. You're setting an intention. And when you decide that this is how I want my summer to look, this is how I want my life to look, and you remind yourself of it often by visiting your vision board and your mood board often, everything changes. Everything changes because now your brain is literally going to actively work with you to make that vision board your reality. For example, if you have a picture on your vision board of a girl walking because you really want to go on hot girl walks, when the opportunity of going on a walk presents itself, your brain is going to be like, okay, remember that goal. It is going to instantly connect you to that goal of walking, and you'll see that opportunity in front of you. Whereas before, you probably were like, okay, I'm just gonna hop in my car, or I'm just gonna hop in an Uber. No. Your brain's gonna be like, remember that walking goal, get to step in. And then the second thing is to make a summer bucket list. I used to do this all the time when I was in middle school, and this year is the first year in a while that I'm making an actual bucket list. And basically what you're doing is creating new experiences for yourself. What are some specific things that you would like to do? What are some new experiences that you would like to have? Making a summer bucket list is all about learning something new. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about pushing outside of the norm. When you prioritize it by sitting down and actually making the summer bucket list, you're telling yourself, this is important to me. New experiences help you learn so much about yourself. You might uncover a hidden talent of some sort. You might make new friends. You might find your love for something or passion for something. That is the only way, is by doing things outside of your comfort zone. If you don't choose to create new experiences, you're only going to continue experiencing the same. And so summer bucket lists are everything. This summer, I'm going to be going to 4, maybe even 5 cities or 5 countries. And every time I go somewhere, and I'm so fortunate, I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that. But when I go to a different city, I feel like I find a different part of myself. Like, I don't know how to explain, like, it's just the most amazing thing. And so when you set that intention, also vlogs are going to be coming. So y'all should just keep an eye out for the Becoming Her diaries. So a lot of times we sit and we wait for things to happen to us. No, go out and create those opportunities for yourself. Go out and create those experiences for yourself. That is the only way you're going to thrive. That is the only way you're going to grow. That is the only way you're going to have fun experiences. A lot of times people look at other people and they're like, how are they having so much fun? They're going out and they're creating those opportunities for themselves. This is your summer to do that. And then the next thing is actually kind of like a fun thing to do, which is create your character. We talk a lot about identity shifting on this channel, but today we're going to be talking about alter egos. Creating an alter ego. This is really a fun way to say, F it. I'm really going to step into the baddest, most confident version of myself. And like, I talk a lot about stepping into that energy of already achieving the goals that you want, but sometimes it's really hard to do when you're so obviously not that person. Like, for example, if you want to be more confident or you want to be more productive, but you've never been like that before, it can be so hard to separate yourself from that. It can be so hard to separate yourself from that belief of, I'm just not a productive person. It's so hard to separate yourself from those habits that become so ingrained in you that you just can't break out of. And so when you create this character, you create this alter ego and you give it a name and you step into it, it's a lot easier and it's a fun way to practice that skill, because it's not that you're just not productive. It's not that you're just lazy. It's not that you're just not confident. You just haven't practiced those skills enough. And we so often just say, oh, you're just not that, and that's okay. You're just not that. And then we forget that these are just habits that we've learned to do through repetition and practice. And in order for us to become this new version of ourselves, to become the productive version of ourselves, We just have to practice these skills until it becomes our identity. Todd Herman said in his book, this is the author of The Alter Ego Effect. He said, your alter ego helps you disassociate from your own narrative, your own story, your own beliefs, and your own personality that might not be custom built to help you win. And that is literally what I've been talking about when it comes to rewriting your story. Our identity, our beliefs, it wasn't custom built. We didn't choose it. It was most like, and I talked about this in my last video, if you want to learn how to separate yourself from your environment and stop being a product of your environment, you have to consciously choose who you would like to be. It wasn't what we chose a lot of the time. It was things that happened subconsciously. It was from our environment, from how we were raised, from our parents. And so it's so important to create your own story. It's so important to choose your own narrative. And when you create this alter ego, it's just kind of a fun way to do it. But really, you're telling yourself, what are the traits that I would like to have? What are the habits that I would like to have? Create an alter ego who already has these things, and then step into it when it's needed. Step into that energy. How would they respond? How would they do this? How would they go about this? That's what it comes down to. And it's funny because a lot of people have alter egos. Kobe Bryant had Black Mamba. Beyonce had Sasha Fierce. It's really just practicing that. And then one day you can retire that ego, that alter ego, because you've practiced that skill enough. And it sounds so silly but that's really all it is. You can literally learn and unlearn anything. If you guys have the Notion template, you guys know there's an entire section where you can build your ideal self. And then I talk about stepping into your ideal self. You can honestly build all of this that I talked about in this section in the Becoming Her Notion template. So you should definitely check it out. It's going to be linked in the description, and it has all these tools that I talk about. It has a place for an evidence portfolio. So you should definitely check it out. The last section is our physical glow up. I have an entire video. It's like a 45-minute video of how to physically glow up. So if you guys want to check that out, you definitely should. I'm just going to quickly go through a few tips. First one being walk more. Walking has literally changed my life. I'm not even joking. You will explore so much when you just decide to walk. Not only that, but you're going to become snatched. I don't know exactly what the numbers are. Do not quote me on this, but there's a study that was done. And what's like the most detrimental thing to our current generation is sitting. So when you walk, you are doing justice to yourself in so many ways. And I'm going to be visiting Istanbul, Turkey this summer. And when I tell you guys, Istanbul, Turkey, just like going to a different city and exploring is the best thing ever. People always ask me, where do you get your hijabs from? And I tell them Istanbul, Turkey. But the way that you have to walk, the way that you have to explore, that is where you find all the hidden gems. To find this, I was walking until my feet hurt. Yeah. A fun activity that you can do is explore your city, explore different parts of your state or wherever you live. You can walk with friends. You can walk to get yourself lunch. You can walk to get your groceries. Okay, the next thing is 80-20 rule when it comes to the way that you eat. I feel like the 80-20 rule has allowed me to build such a good relationship with food. Not only that, but it gives you the permission to enjoy the ice creams in the summer, to enjoy the smoothies and the acai bowls and things like that, because I don't know what it is about summer, but when summer rolls around, I just need like a popsicle or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the heat, especially because I'm traveling. Like I want to try new foods. I want to try different things, but just making sure that I'm choosing the healthier option 80% of the time has allowed me to be where I wanted to be. Okay. When it comes to looks, when it comes to health, when it comes to everything. Your food is literally the most important thing ever. Last year, I struggled a lot with like health issues and things like that, alhamdulillah. But it really allowed me to wake up to the processed foods and the foods that I was eating. And if I'm going to say anything, it's eat more whole foods. Eat mostly whole foods. Even if it's just 80% of the time, eat mostly whole foods. Eat vegetables, because your skin, your nails, your hair, your body, like everything, your energy levels, your confidence, your mood, it literally controls everything. I don't know why I'm so lazy. It could literally be because of the food that you're eating and the food that you're not eating. So it's so important to pay attention to the foods that you're eating. My tip is 80-20 and eating whole foods. That's all I gotta say. The 80-20 plus more walking is literally gonna give you the best glow up of your life. All right, so those are the 2 tips that I have for Glowing up physically, like I said, I have an entire video on this, and it is a topic that I actually want to continue talking about on this channel. So you'll probably see more videos on this topic, but those are like my two big things. Those are the two main focuses that I'm going to be focused on this summer. And I just wanted to keep this short and simple. You know what I mean? I didn't want to bombard you guys with too many things to take on and too many things to do, but I hope this guide was very beneficial. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you guys check out the Becoming Her Notion template. Make sure you guys check out Rewrite Your Story, which is my course. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
I think when you stay true to your core and to yourself, you can't go wrong.
Right.
Everything, we always assume that if things aren't taken in on large levels that they're failures, right? But I think the failure is not being authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think anytime you step into your truth, that's the nut. That's the line. That's where you stay in that way. Stay on that path. Never sway out of that, because that's the right way. That's never going to lead you astray.